Lesson 3: Climate Change and the Marine Environment. The key words for this lesson are coral reefs, mangroves, seagrass, coral bleaching, coastal erosion, and coastal flooding. The marine environment is incredibly diverse and provides us with vital services and natural resources. For example, fisheries and aquaculture are important food sources for societies around the world, and much of the oxygen we breathe comes from photosynthesis by marine planktonic algae. Vegetated marine habitats such as mangrove forests, salt marshes, and seagrass meadows also play an ever-important ecological service by absorbing and storing excess carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, thus helping to reduce emissions. They are commonly known as blue carbon habitats. We also extract fuel, energy, minerals, construction materials, and medicines from the ocean, and a lot of goods are transported by ship. Coastal communities rely directly on the sea for their jobs and livelihoods, and for many people, the ocean is at the heart of their historic heritage, culture, and well-being. But all over the world, habitats, species, and people are experiencing the effects of climate change, including Sri Lanka. Impact of climate change on coral reefs. Healthy coral reefs are one of the most diverse habitats on Earth and home to a wonderful array of marine life. From small fish and invertebrates to sharks and whales, reefs are highly valuable ecosystems as they supply important natural services like fishing, tourism, and protection from storms. But a lot of these reefs are now experiencing bleaching. Bleaching occurs when corals become stressed during heat waves or pollution incidents. For example, from oil spills or coastal runoffs following severe storms. Reefs are also at risk from ocean acidification, as acidic conditions can disrupt coral growth, resulting in smaller and weaker reef formations. As the reefs die, the fish and other creatures that find food and shelter from the reefs cannot survive or move away. This widespread loss of coral reefs is worrying for coastal communities, especially for those on small coral islands, because without healthy fringing reefs, these communities will be at greater risk from storm damage, erosion, and flooding. Impact of climate change on wetlands. Sri Lanka is championing the restoration and conservation of wetlands and blue carbon habitats. In Sri Lanka, there are 6 wetland sites of international importance, also known as Ramsar designated sites. This includes areas of mangroves, seagrasses, and salt marshes such as Wankalai Sanctuary, Madhuganga Kumana Wetland Cluster, Anavilundava Tanks Sanctuary, and the Vilpattu Ramsar Wetland Cluster. Coastal mangrove forests create habitats for fish and other aquatic animals that use the tight system of long aerial roots created by the trees as safe nurseries and hideout areas. Mangroves protect coastlines from erosion, flooding, and storm damage, and prevent nearby coral reefs from becoming buried by sediment. But mangroves are struggling as the climate becomes warmer and more extreme, as they get exposed to extreme heat and drought periods, sea level rise, and damaging storms. These impacts of climate change are happening as mangrove forests are being taken down for fuel, farming, or coastal development. Seagrass meadows grow on sandy, shallow bays and lagoons, often between the reef and the shore. They help to keep the water clean, slow down the waves near the coast, and offer food and refuge to turtles, dugongs, fish, and other marine creatures. But seagrass meadows are also declining across the world due to climate change and are under pressure from urban development and pollution. Seagrasses can become scoured or smothered by sediments during storms and will die off if the seawater stays warm or turbid for too long. Impact of climate change on marine wildlife. Marine species including seabirds, sharks, dolphins, and whales are also declining or becoming displaced as their natural habitats have become unsuitable due to climate change. Often, their populations are also under pressure from lack of food, overfishing and bycatch, and from the effects of pollution. As native species struggle to adapt to the changing climate, other opportunistic species thrive, even invading new areas, resulting in, for example, massive nuisance blooms of jellyfish or algae that threaten the local marine life and create severe health issues for coastal communities. But while we as humans are responsible for these changes to the Earth's climate, it is still not too late to slow down climate change and turn things around, which we will explore in the next lesson.